Show you guys a few things. This is our quick slice. Now our quick slice, you can do several mushrooms, you can do, I kind of call it the egg slicer on steroids. And I know my picture's not that good, I hope you can see it, I have the light on, a little dark out today. But anyway, I kind of call it the quick slicer or the egg slicer plus on steroids. But you can do, like you could do a tomato with this, you could do avocados, bananas, mushrooms, eggs, and as you can see it's bigger, so you can do several of them. It has some metal blades. And today I am going to do this piece of cheese. I'm going to tilt this down just a little bit to make sure you guys can see everything I'm doing. Okay, let me go this way a little bit with it. There we go. Okay. So, and you can, sometimes like when I do mushrooms or eggs or anything like that, I put it right on here, but like for this, I'm just going to go like this. Go like this. It sits right on there, and then I'm going to go like this and finish it off. And look at that. Slices of cheese. Now, you could also take something, I did this the other day, and what I did is I went ahead and, it wasn't cheese, but I'm just going to show you so you get an idea. You could also put an item the other way. Let's say you need smaller pieces of something. You just put it on there, and if you don't get it in there right, it's not going to go. There you go. And as you can see, smaller pieces. So that works out pretty great. But, and like I could use, I'm trying to think what else I've used it for. Bananas, eggs, cucumbers, zucchini, anything like that. It works great for. Hi, Brenda. But as you can see, doing it that way, then I even ended up with more smaller pieces. So that was a piece of cheese. Now, of course, you wouldn't want to do anything extremely hard. Like, let's say you had a sweet potato. You might need to, because those are pretty hard, you might need to just pop it in nuke it in the microwave for, a couple seconds or whatever to soften it up just a tad, and then you could use this on that. Okay, so I wanted to show you that one first off. Let me clean off my mat. Okay, and the next thing I want to show you is the simple slicer. Now the simple slicer has 3 different blades, and I'm trying to think of the best way you can see this. It locks, which is a good safety feature. I hope you guys, there you go, maybe you're not getting that glare that I'm seeing. And then you've got 1, 2, and then 3. As you can see, 3 is pretty good sized. And maybe right there. Again, there's 2, and then 1, and then locked. So is what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you, for example, an onion. Put my onion on here. Now, this works great when you're making fajitas. You can also do a tomato on here. You don't want a tomato that's really mushy, though. You do want it to be a little firm. Now, this is on number 2, and I'm going to hold it up kind of at an odd angle so you can kind of see how it shoots out. Very easy to use, no waste. It works great when you're wanting fried potatoes, onions, whatever, but I'll show you here. See, look, and that's on number 2 on the slicer. They work fantastic. Now, I'm going to show you too how a potato works on here. And a lot of times I do leave the skins, on my potatoes because we like them that way. I'm going to go ahead and do number 1, and then I will do number 3, just so you can see it. This is number 1. And I know I'm holding it at a weird angle, but I want you guys to be able to see when I'm cutting it. It's pretty thin. Okay, now, here's number 1. Here's number 2. Let me grab that onion again. Oops, if I can get a hold of him. Slip run away from me. Okay, number 1 and number 2. Okay, and then if you want number 3, that's the widest. And again, no waste. One other thing you want to do is, now here's number 3, a lot thicker. Make sure you use your guard, because this blade is very sharp. So you just slide that on there like that. Adjust whatever you want it on. Put whatever, you could even put a pepper on here, like a bell pepper, anything like that. Cucumbers, limes, lemons, whatever. Use your prongs, and then you stick it in here, and you just up and down. Now, this all does come apart for cleaning. It can go in the dishwasher. I usually put mine on the top shelf. Is what I do is I take it apart, and then I just screw the handle back on here. So that way, it doesn't fall through, and I don't have to dig it out of the bottom. I always make sure I lock it when I'm not using it. Like I said, it is sharp. We do have a sharpener that you can get to sharpen the blade. So that's on that one. Okay. Now, while I'm cleaning this up, so Brenda, I saw you had to drive home in that bad weather yesterday, but you made it okay. That was good to see. Did you guys get a lot of rain? Okay. Now I am going to show, this is our veggie strip maker, it's called. It's actually a very hard plastic. It's really good even for kids to use. You can, when you go back and forth, you wouldn't think it's sharp, but it's very sharp. I use this a lot for hash browns or anything like that. You could do carrots, anything like that. And I'm gonna, and here, let me show you before you can stand it up, or as you can see, there's notches here. So you can easily do it right on the bowl. I'm not going to do that though, because I want you guys to be able to see how it looks. So I'm going to have it again at a weird angle here, and I just have a potato, and it goes really fast. And this is how I do my hash browns. A little tip I have is, and maybe a lot of you do this already, but when you make tacos, I just shred up a potato or two, depending on how much hamburger I'm browning, and I throw it in there and I cook it along with the hamburger. It'll stretch it and make it go further, and you don't even taste it, and it's a really nice flavor. And if you happen to get too much heat in seasoning, that will help lighten it up so it's not so hot. But anyway, as you can see, look how nice those turned out. That's what I use for hash browns. Again, you can put it in the dishwasher, easy to clean. So that's that one. Okay, let me clean off this one. If you guys have any questions about these, just let me know. I just want to jump on real quick and give you a demo of a few things. Okay, we got that out of the way. Okay, now the other thing I'm going to show, another thing is our Veggie Wedger. Now I use the Veggie Wedger quite often. A lot of times I might like to make garlic potatoes on the grill. Maybe I throw potatoes, wedges, and mushrooms, garlic, whatever I want in there. So I go ahead and do that, but these are really easy to use. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Here's the blades. Again, you can put it in the dishwasher. I just stick mine on the top shelf. You put that on there like that. You go like this, line it up, put it through, and look at that. Now this is a little bit of a longer potato, but so if you had shorter, like a lot of times I'll use little potatoes. But see how well that works? Okay. Then I want to show you on these. Now I make something called fajita bites, and I will post a recipe for those. And they call for peppers. I like to use like the colored peppers instead of the green. I like the flavor a lot better. I know some people go ahead and just use the green ones, but I just think the red, orange, and yellow have a better flavor. But anyway, and these are the fajita bites. So what you do is you make this mixture up and you put them in here, and this is how you make it. So it turns out really good. So, and like I said, I will post that recipe too, so that you guys have that. Now another one I'm going to show you is an onion, and this is a small onion. If it was a really big one, I would probably cut it in half. And again, you can easily wedge your onions. Easy to use, easy to clean. I got that one a little off-centered, but you can tell. And then of course the wedge pieces will come apart if you want them to. But simple, works great. One other thing I'm going to try, and I haven't done this for, I do this, I should have tried it with my onion, is you can use your simple slicer for the, let me put this back together, sorry, for peppers too. Once in a while I get a pepper that might be a little too soft or something and it doesn't work quite as well. But we're going to go ahead and try it today. And a lot of times if I'm doing fajitas, I'll even take, sometimes you'll get an onion that'll fit right inside the pepper, a whole onion or a half, whatever. And as long as it fits so there's not a lot of gap between here, you can actually even cut both of them at the same time. So that works pretty cool. But anyway, we're going to give this a try. Sometimes, depending on the size of the thing that's in there, my hand has trouble fitting around here, so I start out with it here. I don't know if you can see that. I start, whoops, helps to unlock it. I start out with it here, and then as it goes down, I can easily, okay, that's number 3 on that one. And you don't really have to force it. I mean, yeah, you need to push it a little bit, but you don't really have to force it. Again, no waste. All that went out. And look at those. Aren't those nice? So you can easily put those with your fajitas, salads, whatever you're making. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys those things. Just a few things. And if you have